Hello, I recently finished another logo design project and creatively turned it into a paperclip. But after finishing the project, I started to wonder if there's still a place for paperclips when it comes to branding, especially when everything is going digital. This 3-month project involved a deep understanding of the client's vision, both internally and externally, while designing and executing various stages of branding through to production. Let's get started with the basic information. The client's name is Umbula Gitao Advocates. They're in the legal industry and they specialize in various categories from tax all the way down to corporate law. The first step was researching everything about the industry, from the history of law in Kenya to the daily operations of a legal business. For some further insights, I also reached out to my network of connections who work in the same field. After about 2 weeks, I filtered down the information and found a logo direction from the letters and icons that best represented the name. There were no symbols to represent the client's name, so the next logical thing to do was to use the first letters M and G. The word advocate refers to someone who represents someone in court, and a common symbol associated with the courtroom, apart from the black gown, is this ribbon here. Law is a legal system that applies, interprets, and enforces rules, and this is represented by the scales of justice symbol. As I explored different combinations of icons and letters, I noticed the scales of justice formed an M, and the advocate's ribbon created an A. I also loved how these shapes created a strong triangular form. The only remaining letter to be captured was the G. Can you spot the letter G anywhere? After many attempts, it was as simple as adding a stroke at the meeting point of these two shapes. I now had the outline of the logo and refined it by rounding the edges and adding some space here to make the G clearly visible. The logo was done, but in order to bring it to life, I needed a unique insight. And surprisingly enough, I found it in a bunch of old files that had draft contracts and agreements done by lawyers. Upon closer inspection, I noticed stickies, clips, notes saying sign here, file, check, and others. All this inspired the idea, and after adding some of these keywords to the design, I found that this part of the logo mimicked the opening of a clip. I then modeled the design in 3D and had it printed. Here we are, and here's how they work. With everything going even more digital, the use case scenario for something like this may get less and less, but I really believe the clips could be repurposed to carry other messages relevant to the brand. Food for thought, I guess.